January the 11th, 2025. Guys, you're looking at the latest map. This is 3 hours old from Los Angeles. It's the fire map. What they had, and we talked about it, guys, at the end of the last stream yesterday, and I put a video in the middle of that, but that the winds that were blowing off the Palisades fire offshore, it looked like they were starting to spin. Remember that big loop in the smoke going like this? And that's what has happened. Now the fires are going the other way. So what the big problem is, Palisades fire right here has turned back towards Hollywood proper. I mean, Los Angeles proper. It's about to get into the Getty Museum right there and Brentwood. And they're doing everything they can to fight it. I just saw a live interview with the firefighters there for one of the TV stations, and they said they were so undermanned that they just couldn't get everywhere if you had water and your hoses and all, try to wet everything down, help them. If you see a little bit of fire on the grass or whatever, try to help them by putting out the little places. You know, don't risk your life, run up into big flames or get trapped. But they're saying, you know, get in the mind frame, you're helping protect your property, right? That's right. So you got to do it. Just like we had to cut out here the trees that I still got to clean those up so the power companies could get in here and get us some power back up, and we could get out. Anyway, you got in the red, these are active fire perimeters. You can see it, the Palisades fire, still the largest Eaton fire right here. Again, red is active fire. The purple areas are the lined areas here, are evacuation orders. And then the yellow areas outside of this, on all of these fires, you got the Lydia, the Hearst, Archer fire, Kenneth fire. But these two right here are the big bad boys. A lot of this is up in the big hills. We saw some of that yesterday. But the Eaton fire, it's blowing back towards the hills. But the Palisades fire, guys, is going to be blowing back into, again, Brentwood and the Getty Museum. It says the Palisades fire is 8% contained. That's better than 0, but that means it's 92% not contained. It's too dangerous to be in that area. The blaze has burned through more than 21,000 acres in and around Pacific Palisades and killed at least 5 people. Los Angeles Fire Department Chief Christy Crowley said the fire had destroyed more than 5,300 structures since Tuesday. The fire is now spreading toward Brentwood, where the Getty Center is located. Now, the Eaton fire, 3% only contained on the city's east side. Near Pasadena, the fire has killed at least 6 people and burned through 14,117 acres. Now, this is where the JPL is, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. And a couple of days ago, I was going to check on the JPL model of Comet Atlas, and they were down because they had to be evacuated. I haven't checked this morning, but again, this is the home of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Kenneth fire, 50% contained. That's better. The fire in the Calabasas and Hidden Hills area was first reported, Thursday afternoon, and has spread to 1,052 acres. Now, even though they're small, these other fires, guys, if they're coming up on your property, you can lose your home and lose everything just like the other folks have. Now, some of these are in less populated areas, but the Eaton fire is very close within that Palisades. That's a bad boy. But a person was taken into custody Thursday afternoon on suspicion of arson in connection with the fire. But there was not enough evidence to charge them with a crime. L.A., guys, that's a hellhole. This guy, I saw the pictures. There's a video. He had one of those small flamethrowers, and he was running up in someone's yard. What? But anyway, he went to jail because he had some outstanding warrants. I don't know what they'll do. Probably slap him on the hand, send him to New York. Anyway, Lydia fire, 98% contained. That's great. Firefighters have contained most of the fire since it emerged in the Antelope Valley on Wednesday afternoon. According to CAL FIRE, it has burned through 395 acres. That's a lot of land, guys, 395 acres. And so when you see up into the 20,000 acres, that's a lot. The Hearst fire, 70% contained in the north near San Fernando. The fire has covered 771 acres. The Archer fire, 0% contained. The blaze broke out Friday morning yesterday in the Grenada Hills area northwest of downtown Los Angeles during what officials describe as very erratic winds. It has burned about 19 acres so far, but 0% contained. The winds are picking up. I looked at KTLA's morning weather before I came here, and they're starting to be concerned about that. Now, in one of the videos yesterday, we talked about the fact that what would happen when there's no water and no food and you got millions of people. You know, what's going to happen? They can't pump gas locally. A lot of the stations are burned. A lot of the power's out. And here they're touching on two things that's important and will come to play in the people that survive it. It says the employment loss. Those who lost their jobs because of the fires can apply for unemployment benefits right away. And there's a waiver for the usual week-long unpaid waiting period. Residents can also schedule a job loss assistance orientation in English with Dennis Parks at lacity.org and in Spanish with Itzel Sanchez Morales at itzel.sanchez@lac.org. I'll link to this article, guys. Employers can request up to 60-day extension to file their state payroll reports or deposit payroll taxes. The Small Business Administration is also offering a slew of disaster loans. They need to be doing this, guys, but just be careful. Sometimes when they say they're here to help, they're here to force you out. Said the city is also offering credit and debt counseling to impacted business owners, and its business response unit specialized help. Now, yesterday, the politicians and Newsom got together. They drew $25 million, I guess, out of the budget and awarded it to them, not to help with the fires or the people that need shelter or food or water, but to fight Trump's new policies of putting that wall up and the other things associated with that. That's where the politicians' heads are. We got to fight Trump while your city burns. Wow, that's something, isn't it, guys? Listen, what I'm going to do is watch for a good live feed. It's current. Some of the ones a few minutes ago were kind of rerunning from 11 and 12 o'clock last night. I'd like to try to catch one as the sun's rising there and give us a good chance to see what's going on. But remember, the winds have changed, and they're moving back to the east. Now, this is the nation's current satellite imaging. Look at this front, guys. That's a long, smooth edge. You don't see it that often. And the little dark edge right there is because the sun's over here on the right shining this way, and that's the shadow of these clouds. It's clearing out of Texas now. It's at the very southern tip. LA, or Louisiana, you're getting close to being cleared. Arkansas, you're just like central Mississippi. You got some overhead gray clouds that are going to be thinning all the way across here. Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, coming out around Hatteras here. Let's take a look. Even though the sun is not bright enough now into California, that section is still infrared, but you can see a black dot there. We're going to zoom in, and that is that Palisades fire, and it is appearing to get larger. Now, this is live, so you got the fire right there in that black. That's how it's coming in on the infrared, and you can see the movement. Let me move my cursor out of the way and tell that it's actually trying to move to the right or to the east. Check that out. Now, as the sun comes up, we'll be able to see some of the smoke, and that will give us a little bit better idea of where the winds are coming from. Now, let's just take a look at the surface level winds on NOAA wind map. Pull it up a little bit. Here's the LA area here. Here's the islands. You can see the Santa Ana winds coming down through the valleys. What they're talking about pulling back east, you can see in some of these sections, it is there, right in here. And again, we were noticing that yesterday just watching the smoke. And I'll end with this. A couple of you guys in the comments yesterday asked if I had heard anything about the man saving the dog, and I didn't know. But now we're getting this morning. It says, LA man saves injured dog found in fire-ravaged neighborhood. And I'll just pull it down a minute. We'll take a look at it. It says, a man and a stray dog recently shared a tender moment in the aftermath of the fires that have ravaged the LA area. Rick Miller went to check on a friend's house in Altadena when he saw a creature in desperate need of help. The dog was injured, so Miller quickly got to work to show the canine it was no longer alone. He covered the animal in a blanket and worked with other people at the site to get the dog to the Pasadena Humane Society. It's about caring for each other, and like everyone needs help right now. So that's good news. He was rescued. He's in the shelter. They're going to take care of him. Now, some of you guys in that area, you check with Pasadena because we don't want him put down after they get him healthy, do we? But guys, I'm going to watch for a decent update that we can get some more information up. So watch for either a video coming up like this or one on the live stream. We're watching it. You watch it, guys. It's a heads up. You be safe.